Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is December 24th, 2025, and it appears that my mother has a big problem with the eggs, with my eating eggs. Yeah, I'm sure everybody knows what eggs are. These are eggs. What? These are eggs. Yes, these are eggs. And my mother has a problem with my eating eggs. She just assaulted me for eating eggs, claiming that I am not a sport person, that I don't need the proteins and stuff like that. That's pretty crazy, pretty insane stuff. By coincidence, I learned that in eggs you have whites and you have yellow. You see, egg whites. It's actually egg whites or whatever it is. There you go. So those are proteins. That stuff, this stuff here, that's proteins. I by coincidence learned after the neighbor gave mother these whites, and she's not using them. She prepared some kind of cookies or whatever, and mother brought this home. By the way, this was a neighbor Slavka, Yerman, and prepare what is known as a snežne kepe. These are snowballs. That's a type of stuff that you would use. Sweet, good, delicious stuff. All the Americans were completely crazy about my mother's cooking this kind of stuff. You don't have this in America. So, because probably you don't have eggs. You don't have balls. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure that you have. I don't know how you say this in English. Snowballs or whatever it is. Alright. So, they love to eat this stuff that my mom was preparing. And, yeah, I haven't seen people preparing this stuff really. Actually, you know what? In the U.S., they did have these snowballs too. Yeah, Americans also. Oh yeah, America. Yeah, that's a rich country. They have eggs in America. I'm just being kidding a little bit. Well, she got very, very upset with me for eating. I don't know how to prepare this. And that's probably done through excessive sugar that you add to the whites, and that will create that sponge like creamy stuff that you see right there, balls like that. Then you're supposed to cook that in a warm milk or something like that, and that hardens it, that makes it even grow these balls or whatever, these snowballs. This is how I learned, actually. I ate this and then I went to sleep, and I learned that my health was so much better. What happens with me is if I don't go walk, my urine turn like bloodish, and the sleep is reduced, and I have enormous problems with a body without, even if I eat something, proteins, I have a much better everything, because my body is actually falling apart. They told me during MK Ultra that my body is not properly processing proteins and other for body necessary vitamins and that kind of stuff. They were playing with the autoimmune diseases, and learned that because that's what they were doing. The only thing they were doing, they were testing the food, testing the food, testing the food. As you know, one of the people who have this autoimmune problems is King Charles, who was using me for this type of evaluations. Whatever they have done to me, it's very bad. It'll make you sleep 4 hours, 5 hours. You get sleep 6 hours, you're already very, very good. It makes things impossible for me, work-wise, cleaning-wise, because my mother does not allow me to use washing machine. She is forcing me to wash everything by the hands. And when you don't get enough sleep, washing with the hands can be nasty. And I like to wash thoroughly because of the skin problems that I have. And so I don't want any soap and stuff like this on the clothing. They were playing with the skin cancer a lot. And so I learned that this is a very good stuff, that it helps me regenerate my body. I just learned this. It's not even 1 week I'm doing this stuff. And today I have a mother, so I would take 3 eggs before the sleep. Just this whites, not the yellow stuff. Yellow stuff, I understand, is cholesterol inside and stuff like that, which is not very healthy for you when you go sleep. Not a good stuff. And yeah, she is buying these eggs from the neighbor. They also, of course, they have them also inside of the store. This eggs will cost you, 10 eggs will cost you €2. So I did the math. It comes to about 3 times 30. If I would eat every day 3 of them, it comes to 90 eggs per month. And those 90 eggs per month will eventually cost you, well, that's 9 times by 2, that will be €18. 18 euros. If you take 100 of them, and then the price goes up to 20 euros. 20. I did not know anything about this till I tried. Then I also recalled that it was a police that was playing with this stuff, doing exactly the same stuff I'm doing. They would give me eggs, claiming me the same thing, that I have a problems with lack of proteins, that my body is not functioning properly, whatever organ is in charge for this kind of stuff. Now, it's not difficult to tell what the problems are, but it affects absolutely, and my prostate and my kidneys and my liver, talking about the lack of these proteins, whatever autoimmune problem I think is what it is they created. Liver, kidney, both. Who the hell knows what the hell they were doing? And she starts to fight with me. I'm about to translate you, because I took 3 of them right now, and I prepared myself with a mixer. I mix them, a little bit sugar I give inside, and I mix this, and then I eat this, and then I go sleep. And exploded at me and claimed that I'm not a sports person, and it was like I don't deserve it in that sense. You know, let's hear this stuff. I'm going to skip this stuff here up front. There is nothing. I'm not even talking to myself. It's boring. It's nothing really. Here's where it comes. I mix them in a coffee pot. And I would do this before I would go sleep. I went to pick up the mother. Today is really snowing outside. And I brought her home. I cleaned a little bit of the driveway. And she comes and she attacks me for eating these eggs. Yeah, it is true. It is true. Today is December the 25th. And you see that tomorrow is December the 25th, is a Christmas. People celebrate Christmas. Melania Trump said, fucking Christmas. Okay, so let's go back to this recording here. What I'm trying to say is the mother also prepared some food which was evaluated by the police just as the food that I prepared myself, and it was actually rated as a poison. But I will talk about that in continuation, not right now. Let's go to this recording about eggs. She calls me on the side. That's like very nasty way. The way she addressed me is like. Do you know what she said to me? That that you will, Bustian, that's my name, that you will break eggs like this and do I don't know what. I will no longer be buying eggs. That's how she said to me. She pulled me on a side and she said that you will be breaking eggs and do I don't know what. I am not going to be buying eggs no more. Like, what the fuck have I done? I mean, prepare myself 3 of those whites. I do this for about a week now. Not even 1 week I'm doing this. And she explodes at me. I did not prepare this kind of stuff. Oh, you might actually completely misunderstand me. I did not do these snowballs because I don't even know how the hell to do that stuff. And the thing is, you need a lot of sugar in it. And I don't want sugar. And so what I did was I just placed these whites that you see here. I placed them into simply into oh man, yeah, like this guy's doing here. The same thing like this guy's doing here. Just like this guy. I separated them from the yellow thing. And once I got them separated, I would add a small spoon of sugar. 3 of this I did. 3 eggs. And then what I would do is I would take a mixer and I would mix it so it would become like a creamy, you know? And it's not really creamy, but it's more tasty. It's like some kind of drink or crap like this. so that I don't eat eggs alone, you know what I mean? So then I sip that down my throat, and this is the way I consume this stuff. Hopefully there is no salmonellas. But this is the way I go. This is what I do. Alright? So she addressed this with my eating those whites as breaking eggs and doing I don't know what. I ain't gonna be buying no eggs for you breaking eggs and doing I don't know what. Oh, okay. It looks like it was fancy. And I told my mom, I said, yeah, you know, you're right about that. So she goes on to tell me that I'm a nobody and nothing. You're not a sportsman, you're nothing, she says. Listen, this hysteria, her violence, her outburst, out of nowhere. You're gonna eat this? That you need the proteins? What the fuck you need the proteins for? Next to the tatar, next to the French salad, she's saying like you're gonna have a proteins next to the French salad and next to the tatar. You're gonna eat even 4 eggs. No, there are no 4 eggs, actually. There were 3 eggs. I don't know how that she saw the 4 eggs. As a matter of fact, hold on a moment. I can actually demonstrate you what that looks like. She is a schizophrenic. She's a real schizophrenic. She is a real schizo. Tatiana Prokshel stated to me during MK Ultra that my mother is a schizophrenic and that I actually not a schizophrenic. She rated my mother as a schizophrenic. A psychiatrist who went on to hospitalize me. Look, how many do you see? Yeah, I only see 3 of them. I didn't know that I'm going to create such a problem. So, what exactly is the problem? The problem is that she stated that she prepared tatar. Let's see what a tatar is. Let's see what the tatar sauce is. I don't know if you are rich enough in America to know what the tatar sauce is, but some people, they eat this shit every day. I have the opportunity to eat one maybe once in 2 years. So if I did scare you about the wealth, don't feel damn bad. You can buy yourself that probably in every store for the cost of salami or whatever. Tatar sauce. I never ate one, but they ate one during MK Ultra. The police. This is not. This here is this is what she gave on the table. This is something I get to eat once every 2 years is what she gives this kind of stuff, or maybe even in 5 years since I returned back from Poland. That would be in 4 years. She doesn't really buy food like this. There is rotten chicken that I even ate, and a rotten fish that I even ate, based on MK Ultra scenario and stuff like that, and potato that was already rotten, that you would really have a problem going after, and so on, which was a part of the police tactic in order to steer me away from eating a normal food, with extremely toxic, angry mother's outbursts for eating normal and healthy food. This is how they control the food, to make you feel, based on MKUltra scenario, torture and insults. Not that you don't deserve one, but they anger you so much that you start to hurt yourself. This is classic MKUltra recipe to kill somebody. This is what my mother was enforcing all along. I video recorded some of the stuff. So, this Tatar stuff that she prepared, we would refer to this as a beefsteak, Tatar beefsteak, was extremely spicy, which was definitely not healthy for me, I know that. But there was meat, and meat, she was right. She mentioned that meat does have proteins, that's correct. The second thing that she said that she prepared, what the fuck I need, what do you need the proteins for? Were next to French salad. A French salad we have maybe once per year, not once per year, not. She tried to prepare that more often. I told her already it's a poison. It was rated as a poison during MKUltra. Based on the food that I got is exactly the food that Robert Golub, animals from Novo Mesto police station played, and they alone rated this kind of food during MKUltra. A steak Tatar as a so-so food, and when it comes to Francesca Solata, that's a Francesca Solata, you see this here? That's a French salad. That's what they call French salad, like this. This is very strange. There's a lot of mayonnaise, but still better than what my mother prepared. What I'm about to demonstrate to you, however, looked something like this. However, I was told the mayonnaise is a pure poison, and my mother did not want to have my father at home. And what she started to do goes directly into the category of her threats during MKUltra. And this is what her Tatar sauce looked like, beefsteak or whatever you call that stuff. And this is what her French salad looked like. I recorded it.
Word noted.
Look at what the fuck is this shit. You know what she does? She puts the stuff that I demonstrated you in a mayonnaise. She let one sit, soak, and then what she does is she throws more mayonnaise on it. This is how she got my father stroke. Now she's trying to do the same thing with me. Okay. All right.
Yeah, she never prepares this really. For the new year, you get the stuff like.
By the way, I'm gonna record something else. I had nothing to sweet myself yesterday, but this was rated as the worst thing during MKUltra. Let me demonstrate you. This is what this poison I prepared myself yesterday simply because I needed something to eat. This is called as a slatka smetana. This is known as a whipped cream. We actually don't have anything inside of the fridge. We don't have any normal food. Well, actually, people would disagree with me. We do. Look. These are carrots right there, and then you have this here. And then you can go and you can eat this here if you like. It's not good because it's a difficult food to process. I learned, I tested all the food. You will have enormous problems then. Eating that kind of food, my problems would actually kill me. I'm going to demonstrate you what the whipped cream is. I was just hoping I'm going to demonstrate you. That's what I prepared yesterday. Because yesterday actually she prepared a really good food. It is the first time since I returned from Poland that she actually started to buy a normal food. Strange. something did change. But she's not going to be doing this. Enough is enough of it. Yesterday she prepared first time what is known as a krvavica, the fine melted this kind of sausage.
She was buying this stuff before, but inside of this sausage was pieces of meat that were like, you know, like a rubber gum.
Like a rubber gum. Just a normal thing, not properly processed, or I would say even properly processed, because maybe some people like a lot of fatty stuff like this, like you would chew veins or some shit like that, like I don't even know how to say. So this that you prepared yesterday was so delicious, together with a sauerkraut. I ate this.
Garbage.
But yesterday I got a la carte this stuff here. During MK Ultra, she would eat with the police only the best food. The steaks from the young calf, which I also like, pure meat, and sausage like this, and all kinds of like really food that never existed inside of the house, while at the same time claiming with my father also that I don't eat normal food like other people. So they were basically forcing me into some garbage through the garbage that they were capable to eat. It was actually healthy for them to not eat what is otherwise normal food at all. They had a very specific technology of poisoning. That's called poisoning. That's a very serious form of poisoning. So let's go back to this stuff. The whipped cream that she prepared yesterday, actually that she purchased and I ate because I had nothing other. I needed something sweet to eat too. Is whipped cream, like this kind of stuff. Will fuck you up if you continue this type of diet with the diet that she prepared today. And it's so easy to get me into this stuff because she doesn't prepare the food. So when it's something different and tasty, you're just gonna jump on. Even if you know it's a poison, you're gonna jump on it and you're gonna grab it and you're gonna eat, because you don't get this kind of stuff seldomly, and you're fucked. And this goes melty in your mouths together with this Tatar sauce, Tatar biftek meat, whatever, steak they call it, even, whatever.
Prepares this really for the new year. You get the stuff like this. So what's wrong with this stuff here?
Yeah, for the Christmas.
It's very tasty. This is a Tatar.
Fuck the Tatar, whatever. Fuck are they?
A meat, basically.
It's basically a meat, whatever the hell that is.
This here, what's wrong with this stuff here?
People hallucinate about this stuff. I don't know what the fuck it is. What is it? What exactly is it?
You do it like this.
1,000 times I would prefer to have a regular fish that is not frozen. The only fucking food I get is the fucking frozen food. And even that one sometimes is either left outside of the fridge or it's rotten already.
Like this. If you do it like this, it's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if you have not seen what the hell is wrong with this shit by now.
This is just a coffee cup.
This is the definition of the lunacy. Truly, I ate that earlier and I was sick from this shit.
Yeah, I ate a little bit of it, and the sound that I hear, the blood pressure sound, simply fucking, it's bothering me 24 hours, 7 days a week. But when I did that stuff, it fucking exploded.
This is left inside of the mayonnaise.
I think that this is a mecca for intestine, colon cancer. I think that when this shit goes down your intestines, I think that fucking kills all the bacteria, covers everything, and is just total holodomor, I would say, of the stuff that you need for digestion and, you know, etc., etc. I think that that's what this is, and it's probably also have it, or either has a problem with processing through kidneys or liver, whatever the case might be. This shit is shit. So what I do is, I learned, we will not disturb the mommy. I will not even post any of this on the internet. I have a bunch of this. I never posted this to the internet, but you know, when she said that, like, who the fuck do I think I am for eating eggs? Right? And I said, you know what? I said to myself, let's put this shit on the internet. So, because under MKUltra was everything about normal and not normal. Normal and not normal. Not eating the proper food is not normal, yeah, but poisoning somebody through torture, make a person toxic, and then follow up on a person, that's also not normal. Or is it normal to keep one unemployed, jobless, and promise him this type of mistreatment, and then actually follow on him in real time with this type of stuff? That's not normal. So let's see that stuff. This is worse than milk.
For the
1,000 times worse than milk, this shit.
To absorb as much as possible mayonnaise, and then it's more mayonnaise that she throws on the top. The whole thing looks like this.
This is fucking insane, man.
Yeah, if you don't, with the health problems that I have, if you don't clean this shit,
yeah,
you're kaput.
You can have problems.
It's just simple. That's what this is. Look. See what the fuck is this? That's what this is. So, if you don't
not
clean
a good stuff. Not a good stuff. Simple as this. Not a good stuff. So she says, this is the stuff that you have. You have all this. Wow. You have a little bit of that tartar steak. And this is, wow. What the fuck do you have? I am happy to have this because usually she never ever prepares almost nothing. She prepares maybe 1 meal per week. 1 meal per week. This was the case until just recent. Till about maybe 3 weeks ago or something, she started to prepare again meals. Other than that, for the last 4 years, it was nothing. And even if I would prepare a chicken or whatever, she would not want to eat and was making ugly face and insult the stuff and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Only insults flew out. I would be more than glad to prepare also for her and for me. If it would be for somebody else, I would have more energy to cook, because it's difficult to cook only for yourself. But she's a difficult case, next to impossible, and it makes you disgusted even from eating normal food. So this is a very difficult case, and it's like this with everything. If you go to work, if you try to do something at home, she screams, yells at you, attacks you, and stuff like this. She created completely her own rules inside of the home, inside of the house, together with the psychiatrists from Ljubljana Polje, with the social workers, with the animals from Novo Mesto police, who literally, together with psychiatrists, trained her and accented her strengths of abuse that she's applying toward me. And today it was also about the eggs, which I practically did not even eat. This is what's interesting part. Once I started to do, however, with this practice, because Over the course of the time, you start to analyze yourself on what is good and what is not good for you. Not too long ago, I published on the blog that whatever the fuck you do, at the end of the day, I recommended people before they go sleep, you should take yourself proteins. You should prepare yourself white chicken or something like that and eat that together, preferably with maybe sauerkraut or salad or something like that, to help your digestion, bacteria and stuff. I realized it might help you out. This is basically what I'm saying. Also to regenerate your body. And she just explodes on me. She doesn't want this kind of attitude. She wants to see me basically fall apart. And I know it's got to do with the father, because I started to post attention to my father again. It's not that I started to pay attention to the father again, but he angered me because he is not cooperative with me. He does not want to cooperate for me to help him out. I'm not even allowed to come to see him inside of the facilities, So that's completely fucked up, without my even having a permission to see my father or ability to talk to physicians, doctors about his health. And in the first place, the Home for Elderly People, the elder care here in the Novo Mesto, is nothing other than a lab for the viruses, flu, cold, that kind of stuff. My father was never so sick. Now since he entered this Home for Elderly People, for elder care, he was sick all the time. He's sick all the time. It's not about me getting viruses, which I also got over there, but him being sick all the time. And he's old. And especially when you're old, you cannot be sick all the time sick. Bedridden, basically, pinned to the bed and so on. This is impossible to save a person like this. And all the efforts that I invested at the cost of my own spine, which is injured, to do exercise with him. It was a failure because they always invented virus, they always invented something to take him away from me and pin him back on the bed and stuff like this, so that he could not make a progress with the muscles and stuff like that. This was just a police sadism, basically, this whole fucking procedure. So now we are talking about the eggs. I'm sorry that they took me away. I think I told her, you made such a big mistake right now with me. Next to the Tatar steak, next to the French salad, you even 4 eggs, she said, even 4 eggs. I told her, when did you make the last time the Tatar steak and the French salad? She said it doesn't matter if I did or not or when I did. I said to her this because she never prepares anything, and she never prepared this. She prepared now because it's a Christmas, like I said. You can see the date. She said it doesn't matter. I told her good. I told her good. I am glad that you tell me this. I'm glad that you discuss this with me. Thank you. There was 7 yellows in a cup. Why? There were 7 yellows. We now know what the whites are. Now let's see the yellows. These are yellow. It's a yellow mellow. There was 7 of them. Yes, there were 7 of them. There were 7 of them because yesterday when I was preparing this, I told you this is a new procedure for me. It's the first time I started to implement this, and it works for me. And you know, this is what the problem is. The diarrhea is gone, and as my health started to improve, as I started to watch myself rather than to eat the poison that she administers, she explodes. She has a big problem with it. There was 7 of them because yesterday when I was preparing myself this, I used, we have a mixer like that, and I used, actually it's Mechalnik, whatever the fuck this is. This is what they call that in the Slovenian language. And one right there that you see is to step the cream, and the other one that you see right there is just blender. And well, the problem is because I purchased eggs inside of the store, and the eggs inside of the store are completely different than those from the farm. Like those that I purchased inside of the store, I didn't have any problem using that whipped cream stuff mixer that you see right there. I don't know how you say that stuff, but I'm sure you understand. Well, at the same time, I also, yesterday, it was the first time in my life that I was playing with this stuff. I never did this before, this stuff, you know. And when I was trying to prepare myself yesterday, this stuff with this whipped cream stepper, this kind of stuff, this thing, the eggs that I prepare myself, I prepare myself 3 of those eggs. The only thing that happened is it threw me all the eggs from the cup. You know, that's right. I end up cleaning like crazy everything because when I started to use this mixer, whatever you call this, it just threw me those whites right out of the cup. And then I had to take another 3 eggs or 4 eggs, I don't know what it was, to repeat this procedure to get this whites. And you know, instead of this kind of mixer right there that you see, I used this type of the stuff that you attach to the, actually mixer is this thing here now, so whatever the hell you call this thing here, to prepare myself, as usual, this egg so that I could have it, because I just don't feel like eating a raw eggs, basically. That's why I'm a comfortable person like this. Sorry. So she found those yellows, 7 yellows, she said, which I'm not even disputing. Maybe there was 7, I don't know. Doesn't matter to me. And that she found them, and that she found them, and she found them, and now that's it. Like you're doing a damage, basically. You don't eat those yellow, when it's actually really about something completely different. She talked about the sports guy. You're not a sportsman. You don't need the proteins. How the fuck does she know that I don't need proteins? When she was always present with the police and they talked about that I needed proteins, that I need proteins. That's weird. I said to her that I am not allowed to eat 3 eggs per day, I said to her. She says, why? Why do you need to eat 3 eggs per day? What for? I say to her, oh, okay. She says, what for? You must also eat the yellow, not only the whites.
Okay.
This is the stuff that is repeated from MK Ultra. Brainwash, and the psychiatrist Peter Kapsch and police insisted that I don't like yellow people, that I don't like Asians, Chinese, and etc., etc. Is it true? That's what they insisted. Only whites, only whites. And we already have seen how that goes inside of the Ukraine now. We already know how everything is happening inside of Ukraine. We can all see what's happening over there with the whites and with the yellows, how it works for Vladimir Putin. So this is basically from Milan Kuchan. It was to make it toxic as much as possible. So to say basically, I lived with Milan Kuchan and psychiatrists and police. That's what I get every time when I look at her. It's her old friends and psychiatrists over here, and psychiatrists and Milan Kuchan and that kind of stuff. Instead of mama, I have now this kind of stuff. And the father is already 3/4 dead at home for elderly people. So this is just fantastic the way this stuff is done. I don't want to argue with her. I'm going to play you one more time recording, but this is a translation of it. So I say, Mom, I said, how much do the eggs cost? Ten eggs costs €2. So 10 of them costs €2. 10 of them, I have enough for 3 days.
На dan 3 яйца.
Сколько это на ден? Это
25.
She is rotten to the bone. She knows that she is lying. This video is also because it demonstrates that she knows that she is lying. And with the use of violence is what she's using as an argument, yelling and behaving like a thug. Keep talking about the eggs instead of the money. Finally, it doesn't matter how many eggs it is. What matters is how much good that does to you and how much it costs. That's what actually matters in this whole thing. And what she does is instead she is articulating with the eggs that I'm making damage by eating eggs. She knows exactly what she's doing. I am calculating how much it costs. She doesn't want to calculate how much it costs. She talks about the eggs. Let's repeat this stuff, really. Let's do it again.
На dan 3 яйца.
Сколько это на ден? Это
25.
Это 25. За кого их потерял?
She says this is 21 eggs per week. I say to her, she says 21 eggs per week, and I tell her, Mom, this is 70 cents per day. 70 cents per day is what that is. And she continues to stress anger in my face. What do you need them for? What do you need them for? I wouldn't say if I would be drinking alcohol, beer, wine and stuff like that. or doing drugs or something like that. But this is just food. It's called eggs. That's quite interesting to me, this stuff, really. What do you need them for? What do you need them for?
Na mjesec. Ne. Zaradi tega, ker so tri na dan. To pomeni, da v 30 dneh je tudi 90 jajc. 100 jajc, recimo. Se pravi, 100 jajc je pa 20 evrov.
Zakaj bi pa mogel ti 100 jajc pojesti?
I say, Mom, this is 90 eggs, but let's say 100 eggs. Let's say 100, let's not say 90, let's say 100 per month. That's 20 euros, I tell her. And she had a tremendous problem. What do you need the eggs for? Why do you have to eat the eggs? What? Why? I said to her, I didn't know this troubles you so much that I eat eggs. You must eat the whole egg. No, eat the whole egg. Prepare yourself, bake yourself the whole egg and eat. I told her, why are you so disturbed? Because you're no sportsman, you're no physical worker, so that you would have to eat the proteins every day. You have fish. I remind her about the stuff that went on during MK with the police. We had Charles. I actually get my mom admit that he was here. Listen to this. I talk about the Charles, that it was the police that insisted. I didn't even mention Charles, British king now. I didn't even mention him. I spoke about police, that they even instructed about that stuff. They did not instruct anything. They mentioned it during MK Ultra. It's a big fucking difference. And if you don't do it yourself somehow, you will not recall about anything about the stuff that went on during MK Ultra. So those advices and everything they were giving, fucking useless. And I tell her, you even had this British guy here. No, did you have a British guy who was also talking about this stuff? One time I had Charles show me eggs, just like the way I prepared. He had the police to show me this and talk to me. I during MK Ultra, I considered Charles as, I considered him as I don't know, as my family. I considered him more than my friend. And he fucked me. He fucked me. The old man fucked me. He really, really fucked me. It's I still don't get it when I think about this stuff. This guy was so dear to me. And the old man fucked me. It's just simple as that. He pulled me from the nose. I am still today, even today, it's already almost 2026. When I think about this stuff, I'm in shock about this whole thing. And let's just leave that stuff alone. So mom says to me, folks, this man was something so fucking special that if he would give me a pencil, I would consider that pencil as something of extreme value if he would just take time to properly. It was about whatever he gave me, his time that he would dedicate me, that I considered so valuable because of so much violence, thuggery, and comparing me to nothing during MK Ultra. Torture. So this, to me, his presence, it was like a treat. In reality, it was abuse. So let's leave that stuff alone. That's how they do this stuff. Mom alone, you're going to hear her, she's going to say Charles, King, British King. No, you're not going to hear her say Charles, but Britanski Král, she's going to say. She says, yes, we did have. He was Britanski Král. He's Britanski Král now.
Nisem enega Britanca tukaj, ki je govoril. S tem, da ste ugotovili. Kralje, zdaj je kralj, ja. Ja, enkrat je ga bezal tudi. S tem, da se je on od vas naučil tudi. Ampak ni bilo tako. Zato, ker takoj prikrivaš, takoj pokrivaš, takoj izsiljuješ.
She says, no, it was not like this. I told her, you're doing this stuff because you're doing absolutely with everything like this. Whatever you were involved in MK Ultra, whatever went on inside of our home with MK Ultra, it always ends with exactly the way you did right now. You make an argument out of it, and you wait for me to come out and remind you about the stuff that went on during MK Ultra, just to rebuff me, to reject me, and play me down, basically. You do with absolutely everything that went on during MK Ultra like this. So whether that was to do this stuff to me or whatever the hell it was, the mayonnaise is a very, very bad stuff to follow up with my health problem, to follow up on the whipped cream stuff with the mayonnaise like this.
This is also worth noting.
This is a fucking suicide. This is not what you want. It's not even properly prepared, man. It's fucking nasty shit.
In na tvoji seljevanju se je šel dan. Zato sem to vprašal.
Glej ga gramofonček, glej ga.
What I told her, you know, in your extortions, I don't give up, Mom. I said, look, there is a gramophone here. But the gramophone is something else. But I was trying to say it's audio recorded. It's audio recorded. I audio recorded, and I was extremely pleased I did.
Adijo.
I told her, bye-bye. She
Nisem
said,
vedel, da je 20 evrov preveč za
I told her, I had no idea that 20 euros is too much money per month for the eggs. She says there's also other stuff that you eat. It is true. It is true. But there is one more thing that I have to say in respect to the food that I eat. In the presence of my sister, Bisarka Golob, and my niece, Urshka Golob Weber, and her husband, Mitya Weber, I had to witness my mother is payout and my father is payout to my niece and to her husband because they would be paying me for the food. This is the stuff that went on during MK Ultra. They demanded the money up front on the side because I would be staying at home and they would be paying me for the food. This is my niece and her husband, Mitya Weber, and my sister, Bisarka Golob, Auschwitz. So, do you understand what the fuck this is? These people were the people that threw me inside of the psychiatric hospital. They were involved in Mount Everest of torture, abuse. They don't want to know nothing about the stuff they did or that anything ever took place. But they wanted to make sure that every dime, every cent that would go for me for the food, that they would have equal payout. So that the money that my parents would dedicate for me for the food, electricity, they would not lose the money even on that issue. So this is basically the way the family matters work here in this family. This is the way they organize themselves. I think they're going to be disappointed because I am not up for grabs. I don't think they're going to make it through. And I think I actually already made it through. That's all I want to say for this video. What I will do is I will play you one more time for those of you that speak Slovenian language so that you can understand. But I don't have anything else I would add to this video. Tomorrow is a Christmas. I'm going to say you have a happy Christmas, or as Melania Trump would say, the Slovenian Melania would say, have a happy fucking Christmas. I don't know if she would say that have one, but yeah. That little Slovenian shit got to meet me when I was in Poland, hijacked from Poland, sleeping in the car or wherever the fuck I was, really like an animal, and 3/4 completely fucked up, wild, broken spine, fucked up, and delivered me to the White House to meet Melania so that she could stress me. I didn't want to have nothing to do with her, so she could give me the reminder that will be played in the future about the fucking Christmas. Fucking piece of shit over there, Slovenian KGB in the White House. She made it all the way. And with what I did for America, for NATO, for European Union, etc., etc., I ended up inside of the fucking car trunk in a 20-year-old Skoda, practically homeless, with broken spine and stuff. It's difficult to explain this shit. Let's just play this stuff. It's gonna be ugly when this stuff comes out. It's not gonna be a happy day for these people. Whatever the fuck you're gonna do with them, whatever the fuck you're gonna do to this scum that you have in the White House and in the Congress, don't feel bad for them.
Da boš ti tako nejajce razbijal, pa ne vem kaj počela, ne bom jaz več jajc pozvala.
Ja, tu imaš tako izpravo.
Nisi ti noben športnik, nisi ti noben takšen, da bi ti mogel neke posebne beljakovine ob tatarcu, ob francoski, še 4 jajca.
Kdaj pa ti patače po francosko še kaj dela?
Ni važno, da je kam
Dobro da poveš. Dobro da poveš.
7 rumenakov je bilo tam v šalci, za koga?
Kaj me smem 3 jajca pojesti na dan, kaj?
Zakaj pa?
A ja, aha.
Je tudi rumenake, ne sem beljake.
A, okej. Dobro. Koliko pa stanejo tiste jajca, mi povej, poprosim?
10 jih stane 2 evra.
10 jih stane 2 evra, tak 10?
Ja. Se pravi, če je 30 dni je, 3x3, to se pravi, da ti bo
na dan 3 jajca.
Koliko je to na teden? 21
To je
jajc.
70 centov
To je
na dan.
21 jajc. Za koga jih pa ti rabiš tukaj?
Ja, to je 4 evra, jaz tako vidim.
Na teden?
Na mesec?
Res?
Ne. Zaradi tega, ker so 3 na dan. To pomeni, da v 30 dneh je tu 90 jajc. 100 jajc, recimo. Se pravi, 100 jajc je pa 20 evrov.
Zakaj bi pa mogel ti 100 jajc pojesti? Zakaj?
Jaz nisem vedel, da ti tako mora, da jaz jajce je.
Ne, pojej cel jajc. Cel jajc izpeč, pa ga pojej.
Zakaj te pa tu tako mora?
Zato, ker nisi ti noben športnik, ti nisi noben fizični delavc, da bi ti mogel beljakovine vsak dan uživati.
In ti ne veš, zakaj bi jaz to.
Imaš ribe.
In ti ne veš, zakaj bi jaz
Tam
to.
dol so ribe.
Policija pa ni govorila, da moram tiste beljake mešati.
Je policija ti jih je dala.
Ni bilo tako?
Je.
Ni bilo tako.
Seveda je.
Nisem enega Britanca tukaj, ki ti govoril. S tem, da ste ugotovili. Kralja, zdaj je kralj, ja.
Kralja se
Ja.
je.
Enkrat je ga obvezal tu.
Ja.
S tem, da se je on od vas naučil.
Ja.
Ampak
Hvala,
mene
ne vemo.
ni bilo tako.
Ne.
Zato, ker takoj prikrivaš, takoj pokrivaš, takoj izsiljuješ. In na tvoje siljevanje se je cel dan. Zato sem to vprašal.
Glej ga gramofonček, glej ga.
Adijo. Nisem vedel, da je 20 evrov preveč za jajce na mesec. To pa nisem vedel. A, ja, je res.
Well, it's basically like this. If you're still there somewhere and you got to listen, it's like this that what they were doing during MK Ultra all the time is called malnutritioning. They malnutritioned. They stuffed with the total garbage. They work on the principles of, as I already explained, if I had any kind of vitamin, whatever the hell I would have, it doesn't matter even if I would not use one, they would start to rape with buying those kind of vitamins and force me to eat them. I told you about the recipe for the herpes, that you can buy some supplements, zinc supplements, like people even take them in the form of vitamins. And what I would do is I would take the knife and I would just like this peel off a little this supplement from the zinc, whatever they come with, and I would mix that stuff with cream, shaving cream, and I don't know, I added some other stuff based on medications they sell over the counter. You know, it's a viral infection, herpes, and you have to take it orally, and you also have to apply that on the skin. And so I didn't have it orally. I just took few of those zinc pills, because I had it all over the face all of a sudden. Way back, 20, not really 20 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. Very long ago. Yeah, when I came from the U.S., 20 years ago, something. And it works like a magic. I took maybe orally, I maybe eat 5 of those, no, not even 5 of those supplements. This is the first thing I did, and then the second thing is I started to apply directly on the stuff, the shaving cream, in which I peeled the vitamin, the zinc supplement. Zinc kills that virus, and it went away. Maybe they say that this goes on away on its own sometimes and sometimes not. However, it could be dangerous when it gets to the face. They call it herpes zoster, and herpes zoster can actually make you blind. It's dangerous. If you have it on the face, you must get it off the face. I never had one in my lifetime. This is what is fascinating. But when I came back from the US in 2006, I think it was, so it just sat inside of the drawer with my never ever using any of the zinc pills. Altogether, I don't know how many they have taken, used, maybe 5, 6, 7 of them, I don't know. All the rest was still packed. And guess what they do? They go through everything you have and they force you to use it. If you have a smaller shoes, smaller number that is too small for your shoe, for your feet, that's exactly what they would use. They would use a smaller number and they would rape me into using that one. The smaller socks that you may have that you don't even use, they're just stored like shoes that are too small. They took that and they started to break leg feet with it. And it was like this with absolutely everything. If you eat any bad food that you have, that you would afford yourself sometimes, let's say a French fries or something, they would only give French fries all the fucking time. Cookies and stuff like this. They load it with the garbage. That's MK Ultra, folks. That's how they do the stuff. And they also want to make sure that the normal food such as fish, chicken and stuff that you would not eat by supplementing, you want during MK Ultra with also rotten fish and so on, or rotten chicken. This is the stuff that went on during MK Ultra. That's how they make you feel. They demonstrate you rotten potato and stuff. Everything is done through MK Ultra, and they say they don't know nothing about what MK Ultra is. What is MK Ultra used for? And they are police officers. What a naughty boys. If you ever consume shit food, whatever you're gonna do, or drink wine or whatever the hell you do, stuff that is not healthy for you, I'm abstinent. I don't drink any alcohol. If you ever find yourself doing stupid shit, cookies, cakes, whatever the hell that is, has a very negative impact on you, make sure that in the end of the day, before you go sleep, this is just my advice, you take a few of those eggs, like, you know, you put them into a cup like this. There is actually still something left in it. You take that mixer, 1 spoon of sugar inside, small one, and it's actually tastes good. And it's a proteins, it goes down, and it helps your organism to rebuild itself, because you cannot without the proteins. This is what this shit is. They were playing foremost with what is nutritioning, hoping for the worst, cancer and stuff like that. And they did create serious problems, whatever the hell they created. So, thanks for watching this video. I recommend you, even that spoon of sugar that you take, that actually helps, I think, kidneys to function better and stuff like that. It works. And before you even do that stuff, if I might recommend you, take a glass of, a cup of water with just a little bit milk on the top, and sip C vitamin in it, you know, like the one you get in the store, like this one here, like supplement you get, and take 2 like this and sip it inside, or 3 if you like, because the milk neutralizes C vitamin, but that does not mean the C vitamin is still in there. It's still in there. The only thing it will do is it will preserve your intestines column from being agitated, because it's acid. I mean acid. It's C vitamin. So that will help your body to first refresh with the liquid, kidney, liver, with the C vitamin support. And when you sip, when that have plenty of, not to say humidity, but it's watered properly, then also take those eggs and sip them. And now you actually have even the proteins that come in an area that is damaged with a much better body ability to process those proteins properly and use them efficiently, so they also don't stuff your organism as you go rest yourself, as you go sleep. I don't know, this is just my advice. Try if it works for you, and then if it doesn't, try, give up on it. What can I tell you? I'm not a physician, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a healthcare individual. If it works, works. If it doesn't work, throw it away. Do something else, whatever it is that you like to do, or try. Thanks for watching this video. I don't appreciate that stuff. $20, 20 euros for the eggs, actually 18 euros for the eggs, is not a catastrophe. And as I said, I just started this about a week ago. The Tatar steak is a shit. It was spicy like a motherfucker. I know it's gonna create me problems, despite having proteins inside. And the mayonnaise that I ate first also creates a problem. And I know that body needs proteins to recuperate itself. And if it doesn't have them, it's an autoimmune disease problem that you continue to develop. Work toward that. That's what they were playing with. Whatever the hell they did to me. And so what I did was, I made sure that before I go sleep, I will give body whatever body needs to recuperate itself. This is the way it is. It affects me enormously if I don't have the proteins. It's an enormous problem. I can feel it literally in my balls. It's enormous problems. It's impossible to even explain. Yeah, my mother is losing it because she's doing everything calculated. That's why it's not working, that kind of stuff that they used to do. They guaranteed me that I'm going to have a diarrhea all the time, and etc., etc. Yeah, and they did enormous damage to me. And the diarrhea is gone. I am probably 10 times doing better than I did by doing this kind of self-improvements. They left me with 1,000 different theories, brainwash lies pertaining to the health, to basically discredit myself foremost, to make me look stupid, crazy. Yet it's not a difficult thing to do because of the medical systems they created. Imagine to sleep 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day. I was stupid enough to fall for directed energy weapons and all kinds of theories they were brainwashing with. This was a totally madhouse. The stuff they were doing with me, this was a regular torture camp. A torture camp. These are killers, torturers, professional torturers, killers. Not a police, not a psychiatrist, not a medical personnel of any kind. They work as such, but on the side they do completely other stuff.